Mariah Carey's for after. Hey everybody, I'm Facebook Live, and I'm going to turn this over to Dara. Do you want to be my filmer?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. So, some of you who have been to dinners at my house know that I'm doing this dessert performance art thing, where I basically talk about something that's important to me or meaningful while I put out a dessert thing. Usually it's a little messier than this, but tonight it's going to be a little nicer just because I didn't want to screw things up for the people here at the restaurant. You know, if it's me cleaning up my house, that's one thing. Thank you. Hey Joe, will you turn the flip chart to the part that says Mariah Carey?
Why would I not?
So I wanted to talk a little bit about how Mariah Carey has influenced my life.
Yes.
And the first thing I want to say about how's it? Is it even enough? Does this look okay? I'm a very conversational performance artist, so I'm going to need you all to help me here. And so basically, what I like to talk about when you're talking about heroes is to remember that our heroes are human. Like, no hero, unless they're fictional, is without their human flaws and their humanness. So I myself don't need my heroes to be everything. What I like to do is to apply my favorite spiritual principle, which is take what you like and leave the rest. And basically apply that to anything, which actually really helps me stay really open to a lot of different ideas. I feel like the bridge builders can really identify with that. The idea that, everybody has something of value. Jenna, could you do me a favor and bring me the tray that says, do not fuck with this?
I was hoping you were asking me to testify about Mariah Carey, but I will do that too.
We'll have to come to that. So basically, thank you. So what I like to think about with Mariah Carey, it started when I was a teenager, right? I was fat and flamboyant, but totally unable to express those things because I had been so solidly discouraged from that. And I feel like Jeffrey's piece earlier definitely spoke to that very strongly for me. I identified with that a lot. And basically, if I'm going to lean into the thing I've been called too much, it's mostly too fat and then followed by too flamboyant, too gay. So I'm going to lean into all of those things and be gay and fat. By the way, the brownies are gluten-free. Thank you, Aaron O'Brien. Me and my friends are caterer. So basically, Mariah Carey was the emotional soundtrack for my teenage years. Her first album, I'm 30 grade, so her first album came out around when I was in high school. And, Can't Let Go, Vision of Love, those are amazing things to listen to if you need a cry. I'm a little desensitized to them now. They don't really hit me the same way, but there were long hours of repeat. And I needed those things when I was a teen. And I really, really have always loved her song Make It Happen, which is also on the same album. And I feel like Mariah is 46 now. She doesn't celebrate birthdays, she celebrates anniversaries, because that's what works for her. And I feel like I learn a lot. I've been watching her reality show. Mariah's World is on E! Sunday nights. It's one of the only shows I watch live because I'm just waiting for the next piece. And she does so much in lingerie. And I can totally identify with that. Early on in my career as a body liberation artist and activist, I started doing a lot in lingerie because, to be a fat woman in public in lingerie is a radical act.
Yes!
I'm going to do me, thank you. And I'm going to do me and be as fat and sexy as I possibly can. And Mariah's she's what? I'm baking, wearing lingerie, whatever. It's how I'm comfortable. Thank you. Exactly right. I wish more people would do what makes them comfortable, even though it's weird or off or people think it's inappropriate. Who the fuck cares?
Right.
When I was thinking about love and resistance for this dinner party, Shabbat, Magic Palooza, the love symbolism was pretty easy, right? Hearts, those are important. But then also, the gold stars really came to me, and I feel like the resistance is in doing you. and like figuring out who you are and doing it, because there's only one you. There's a whole book about how to be you. And there's only one of you, and that's what you have. And like, it's resistance because it's not doing what everyone says you're supposed to do or how you have to live in this world. You're resisting the dominant paradigm. And as soon as you get into a place of like knowing your worth and knowing who you really are in this world, I think that there's a freedom in that. One of my favorite quotes from a social justice ancestor of mine who has passed was from Heather McAllister, and she says, "Imagine how much time you would have if you stopped worrying about how big your butt was." And like, I just want to like bring that to you. Like, what is it that you're worrying about that you're spending all that time on? And imagine giving yourself that time. What a gift to just live life and be free and be magical and just have your own thing. So Mariah Carey, you know, she's a diva, and she owns it. And what I really appreciate is the fact that, like, in her shows, so she plays these sold-out stadiums all over the world, and she has people wheeling her on an office chair. This is what she's figured out, because she can't walk in those heels. Right. And like Mariah Carey, I only wear heels in photographs and on stage. So it looks like I wear heels all the time, right? But secretly, I don't. I know I'm blowing up my spot Facebook, but that's just my real life. Where's Aaron? Aaron's still here, but Aaron. I'm missing a piece of my performance art. Sorry, guys. It's showbiz. I'm looking for a bag of stuff. That bag. There's a lot of bags. This is one of the bags. It's got... I thought
While we're looking, do you want to say hi to Facebook Live?
Is it this orange bag?
This
happened the last time I did this, that I lost a piece of it, and at some point I'll figure out in this modality how to remember how to have everything. Okay, so Mariah Carey, she does her, but she asks for the help she needs. Like, if she can't walk from her dressing room to the stage, she gets help. That is a form of very vital resistance and activism. Because I'll be real, this dinner was a true calling from the goddess. Like, I do not have capacity to pull something like this off, but the message I was getting was that you do it, you do it, you do it. And thanks. But also, the other message I got was ask for help. And I texted my buddy Rick Sorkin, and there is no way I could pull this off without Rick's helping with all this. So I feel like asking for help is a good lesson we can learn from Mimi.
Yeah.
I also really appreciate this is heavier. Aaron texted me, was like, what type of bottle do you want? And I was like, get the big one. But this is a lot harder to squeeze out than the little bottle. Just, you know, pro tip. Another thing that I really enjoyed in Mariah's world, and I'm unsure if this is like truly because of capacity, but you know, take what you like and leave the rest. So she's planning a world tour, right? But she's also planning her wedding to that billionaire. And I mean, spoiler alert, she doesn't end up getting married to him. But I mean, it's weird, you know, when you watch a reality show, but then in real time you already know what happens. But like the journey is really good, you guys. So she like is planning this world tour, and then she realizes I don't have time to plan my wedding and a world tour. And so what did she do? She prioritized her art, and she decided that her wedding could wait. And I'm not sure how much of this was like she knew that guy wasn't her true love, or you know, I don't know. But she seemed into him at the time. But you know, she like made the choice to prioritize her art, which in and of itself is kind of the best form of activism. Because if you watch the fan testimonials, which my friend Taylor was the producer for those segments. Hi, Taylor. And like every time there's a really good fan on there, I'm so excited, and I'm like, oh, Taylor must have loved this one. But like, people feel really seen by Mariah Carey, and like really heard and understood. And she writes all her own songs. She will tell you that relentlessly. She's very into the fact that she writes her own songs. And she is a prolific songwriter, and if you listen to her lyrics, like, they are actually very uplifting and simple. I mean, I'm just saying, like, there's some art that's very accessible, and I feel like a pop song is an accessible form of art, right? So, I was kind of... Oh my I know. If I were wearing gloves, I would put my hand up there. I'm trying really hard not to touch that. Okay, I'm going to leave this upside down and see if any of that comes out. Okay. What's next? Okay. So, and one of my other favorite parts of Mariah Carey and the show, it wasn't even a quote from her, but I'll loop it back in. So one of the things that has really been bringing me through the recent past, and I'll tell you personally, like, I'm dealing with the imminent loss of my grandmother, along with a lot of other, like, personal struggles, but I'm doing the best I can to, like, stay high vibration, because I know that's the best way for me to approach struggle. And a quote that I heard recently, which is that we need to stick together, we can't turn on each other, we're all we have. We need to stick together, we can't turn on each other, we're all we have. And something that has been really getting me through this is my relationship with Dara. We have been working so hard to stay in a good space with each other. We call it a pumpkin patch. As opposed to a rough patch, because pumpkins have little rough spots, but like if it's mostly pumpkin and not rough, that's the goal, right? So one thing that Mariah Carey's new boyfriend, spoiler alert, says before he even gets with Mariah, because they're not even together yet on the reality show, one of the things that he says is, a great way to show someone you care is to save them the last bite or give them the first bite. So Dara and I have been doing that a lot, just like incorporating a little Mariah Carey romance into our lives. And I feel like, there's so much that you can get from people, like, right? Like, I wish that Mariah was a little more political and, like, leveraged herself. But what's amazing is watching her do her so hard and, like, curate her whole life, her whole world around the idea of, like, she's just doing her. And, like, if she needs to be a diva, that's what she's going to do. But she makes sure that, she gets paid. Like, she makes sure she can get what she needs and makes it happen. And, like, I feel like so many of us are kind of trapped in this idea. That's what oppression does to you. It teaches you to keep yourself small and to not take up too much space and to not be too much and to not be too loud or too fat or too angry. Like, your rage is valid. Like, your flamboyance is valid. Your queerness is valid. Your music is valid. Your art is valid. Your activism is valid. Whatever it is, you are doing something that is valid. And the more people who kind of just step into what they're called for in life and do it from a place of aliveness and worthiness and, like, beauty and art and all of that come together, that's what we need more of, right? More people who do come alive. That's not my quote, and that's not a Mariah quote either. So what I'm going to try to do is to communal dessert. And there was one more piece. Aha! Here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pass these around. They're little utensils for you to eat from. So there's gold hearts, or gold stars and red hearts. And just glitter, because that's how I do. So I'm just going to take one and pass it around. Oh, wait, there's a little tube of this over here for efficiency. Just take one and pass it around. So you can take the gold part or a star. So, to cap off all of my magical performance art, it's edible star glitter, y'all. Because you are all stars to me. And I want you, like my goal from this night is for you to leave and feel like the star that you are. Because you are all stars. And you being a star is your act of resistance. And I really love how much we've talked tonight, how much we've communed, and I'm excited to cap it off by having communal dessert. Remember, the brownies are gluten-free. The fruit is vegan.
Thank you, Madeline. This is because of you. Thank you.
And we're done. We're starting at the music cue. Let's make it work.
Oh, it's sparkles.